Morning everyone, just looking at how to mix your greens to do the green challenge, how to paint a painting with greens. So you want to make as many greens as you can to begin with and do a little bit of mixing before you put the brush on the board. So what colours do you need? If you've got blues, if you have 2 blues or 3 blues, that's perfect. I have a turquoise and I have a phthalo blue and a phthalo turquoise. I also have a cobalt. And these will all give me different greens. I have a phthalo green, or if you have a viridian green, any of those colours you can use as one of your mixes. Then for yellows, I have a lemon yellow and I have a cadmium yellow. So lemon yellow is always your sharp, lighter yellow, and your cadmium yellow is your warm, bright yellow. To darken my greens, I have a burnt sienna. And I have a red, a deep red, not a bright red, but a deep red. So any of your darker reds. You could also use a deep violet to darken your greens. So remember, when you're mixing your greens, the important thing is that the blues are the darker colour and the yellow is the lighter. So you take the yellow over to the side and you take a little bit of your blue. I'm only taking a tiny bit. And I add it to my yellow and immediately I get a green. If I want to lighten that green, I just add more yellow to it. And I keep adding yellow to the mixes to get lighter shades of green. Do you see how that lightens? That's just doing that with yellow. Now if I take my lemon yellow and I add my viridian green. It's a very sharp green, and if I want to lighten that again, to the edge of my colour, I keep adding the yellow until I get different colours. If I add a little bit of white, I get a very light. You only need the tiniest bit of white, and you see I get an even lighter shade. White pastelises the colour. What that means is it takes a little bit of the energy out of it, and it's as if something is saturated by light, so it loses a little bit of its power. So use the white sparingly. If I want to re-energize that green, I add a yellow in. So you see how the yellow brings it back up into colour. Now, how do I darken a green? So that's to lighten a green, you use yellow, and at the very end, a little touch of white. To darken my green, if I take my viridian green there, if I add a little bit of my burnt sienna, to see how it darkens. If I add red to that mix, it goes almost blacky green. Again, it's tiny little portions. If I want to bring back the colour a bit and I add yellow to the end of that green, it's coming back out, it's coming bright again, and another little bit of yellow there. And another bit of yellow there. And again, a little bit of white if I want a very light. So yellow lightens and white finally gives you the extra light that you need. Now a colour that is kind of important with the greens is mixing a yellow ochre. If you do not have a yellow ochre, which a lot of people don't have, you can take your cadmium yellow, which I have here. And if you mix your cadmium yellow with your burnt sienna, so if I take a little bit here, so if I take my cadmium yellow and I mix a little bit of my burnt sienna, so tiny little mix at a time, I get a yellow ochre. And if I want to make a very earthy green, if I take my viridian green and I add it to this, a little bit more of a mix, I will get a more earthy, mossy green. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a mossy green colour. A little bit of white into it will show you. Again, a little bit of yellow to warm it. A little bit of yellow. But you get your mossy green colours with your yellow ochre. You get your bright greens with your cadmium, and your lemon gives you your acidic greens. Hope that helps. Gives you a little bit of guidance on how to start your green painting. Have fun and look forward to seeing all the results.